Alrighty, it's your boy Zuxis, and we're back with another BBS video. We are doing the must-have tier list for March, I believe. Yeah, March, because last time was February, right? Yeah, so we're doing the must-have tier list for March. We got 6 new characters, all premium, unfortunately. I don't know. I mean, it's not really unfortunate when they're premium because you can just get them off tickets essentially. But we do got Stark, Yamamoto, Lily, Ichigo, Ishin, and Tenza for the tier list to be added on. And we have all these other characters too, but we only ever add the new characters. I'm sure one day when I'm not lazy, I'll add, some of these, like some of the newer characters that are in here, like Ivan, like some of these characters here, right? But let's focus on the new guys. So first we got Stark, a power unit, which is nice. 847 SP, weaken on everything, no affiliation killer. Full stam at 30%, pretty good. Berserker plus 40%, Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 1, Guard Break plus hit enemies. This is it's not a new skill. I haven't really seen that one. Like now when I see Guard Break plus something or hit enemies plus something, it's like Pierce Iron Skin. But what made this character very unique is that he was a mid-month with Havoc, which was right here. So, or Havok. It says Havok, right? I don't know. And then Sar, negative 12%. And then the Soul Tree, damage to weaken enemies plus 40%, 100% chance to hit dodging enemies of any affiliation, and Sprinter plus 1. So he was a decent unit just off his skills alone. And weaken, having weaken as well, right, made him a lot better too. Guard Break, hitting enemies. He was a good unit, right? He's an okay unit. He's not something like, I don't feel like he's a must have. I mean, he's not even a must have, but he was an okay unit, right? So with strong attacks, same SA1 as, I mean, we could just do it like this, right? So you guys understand. Yeah, so his first strong attack range, 240 by 240, speed 2,500 range collision. It was basically just essentially a beam, right? Not really a beam, but like multiple hits. Literally just like yeah, these characters. Now these are old. That's an old skill clearly, because I seen the last one to have it was Retsu, and this Retsu came out God knows when, right? So it's a very old skill. Second strong attack of Fan, AoE shave. Obviously the radius is 750 to 0, so it closes in essentially, right? Right, the length gets bigger, the width gets from 0 to thing, but the radius goes from 750 to 0, right? Melee to range collision, and then third strong attack, a full screen, right? So again, he was nothing crazy, nothing like must have, nothing about him was like you gotta have this guy. He either could have DPS, but probably like okay, let me see. Like, I think I honestly would put him and can have DPS. I think you could have this guy. Like, you can. He's not really needed at all. Like, especially, like, with other could have DPSs and stuff. Like, look at all the power ones. I don't want to base it off of, like, how many characters are in a tier, though, right? So, mind me there. I don't want to base it off of something like that. But, I don't think he is something like he's that crazy at all, to be honest, right? So, we're going to leave it at that. Now we got Yamamoto. Let me close their tabs. Yamamoto, right? He's an SP character, no affiliations, or no ailments on his skills, my bad. Human killer, heart drop, it drops plus 30%, Berserker plus 60%, Bruiser plus 40%, coin drop plus 70%, damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment plus 100%, devastation plus 60%, frenzy plus 1, guard break, Sar, negative 12%, long stride, poise, and sprinter plus 1. So he is a must-have character. Again, his soul trait is what carries him. He's a support character too, but it's really just his soul trait. I'm gonna actually put him. Gin was a NAD character, right? I believe he was a NAD character. Let me just pull it up. Was Gin a NAD character? He was an SP character. Okay. I'm gonna leave it like this. Yeah, so Yamamoto is not really anything crazy. I mean, he has this skill, the Ichigo skill. I call it that, the Ichigo skill. The 100% more damage to people who are not afflicted by an ailment. But it is very good, obviously. But he's like a support, really. You're really either gonna use him as a link or you're gonna use him on coin drops. But he does hit hard, right? 60% built-in berserker and damage to non-inflicted enemies by 100% is very, very good, right? But again, his main job is like any character that has droplet drops plus 30% or link slot now plus 5 on a soul trait, their main job is to support. Those are characters you're not really gonna want. I would just assume you're not going to want to use that as the main character, because you could put a 30% droplet drop link on a character who has it as a skill, like Riruka, for example, right? Let me pull up Riruka. Riruka is a perfect example. Riruka. This one right here, right? This Riruka is a 30% speed droplet drop unit. So I would use her and then I would slap Yamamoto as a link onto her rather than using Yamamoto as the main character for heart droplet drops. It's literally called killing two birds with one stone, right? So he is a must-have in terms of that, but that's really it I'm going to give him. I mean, again, he does hit very hard. This skill with the 60% Berserker is very good. I'm not really going to go over his strong attacks. Don't want this video to be too long. Again, mainly just the link, I think. So there's that. We have Lily. Nothing really too crazy. Nothing really that impressive, I'm not going to lie. But let's go over her stuff. So 839 SP. Last rate on everything. Quincy Killer. SAR negative 12%. She did have Team/Party Tech attribute or wrong card strong attack damage plus 20%. Don't really think that's a useful skill in today's age because, like if I'm going over a wrong card, let's say a Tech or wrong card affiliation character, like who are you? Maybe Roka. That's like maybe. I mean Grimjaw too. I don't really know if you're gonna use Grimjaw. I mean, if you have Grimjaw, you're probably gonna use him if he's your only option. But if you have Uryu, you're still gonna use him, right? Berserker plus 40%. I mean, this doesn't really go to many characters though. I mean, I shouldn't say it doesn't go to many characters, but like a lot of the Tech or wrong card characters are not being used because they're just not being used. So like I really only think Roka. I think Grimjaw will get more use of this than Roka, but then again, you're not taking this character into something like IT, so nobody's really gonna. I mean, I don't think anybody would use that, and unless you use them outside, right? But let's get back on the track here. So Berserker plus 40%, Bruiser plus 20%, damage to last rate enemies plus 60%, pretty good. The one thing that made no sense, Debilitator plus 2 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 1. But this skill right here, Pierce Barrier, like makes no sense. Like what? She's not a PvP character. That has to be like by far the most random skill you could have, right? She's just a can have DPS. You don't even need her. I genuinely think this is the dumbest thing they could have done. They gave her Pierce Barrier. That could have been anything else. That could have been 80% more SP. That could have been anything else, right? 80% more SP when afflicted by ailment. That'd be so broken too. But it just doesn't make sense that they gave her a skill like Pierce Barrier when she's not a PvP character. Or she's not even going to be used in PvP. But she does, and like, it would have been perfect if that was the 80%, because she does have every 5 seconds, has a 12% chance to inflict lacerate on enemies, guard break, and sprinter plus 1, right? Maybe this is going to be for more of an arena type setting, I think, but it's not really something you need, right? So we can go over her strong attacks here, right? So she has the same first strong attack as, let me just go here, bro. I don't know. I'm just used to going there. So she has I guess a worse 3000 length beam, just 2500. It's just a beam 2500, worst version. Second strong attack is a fan AoE, 725 radius with melee collision. It's okay, not like the greatest, I don't think. I don't really like this skill. Like my favorite AoE skill now would probably be like Toshiro's and Uryu's, right? Those ones is probably my only favorite AoE skill realistically. And then full screen on the third strong attack there. So yeah, just can't have DPS, nothing really crazy, right? So unfortunate. But now we're on to the big characters. So we have Ichigo. We already know where he's going. I mean, let's talk about his stuff, bro. So this guy, 864 SP, drain and weaken on everything, hollow and human killer, SAR negative 12%, Team/Party a wrong, not wrong card. Sorry. Team/Party Tech attribute strong attack damage plus 20%. A new skill, which is Team/Party Tech attribute strong attack recharge time 20%. So essentially, they just get, how do I word this? I think it's just going to be like, the gauge, right? So for example, when you get the gauge and it says 30% and it just instantly cuts it down by 30%, it's probably just going to do that for tech characters, right? So let me try to have an example for you guys to understand. So with negative 12%, it just takes whatever. So whatever the number was before, let's say 30 seconds, it's just going to take it from 30 seconds. Rather than it being a 30-second cooldown, it's just going to be a whatever 12%. Let's say 27. I don't know what the math is there, but let's say 27%, right? It would just be like that. But with the 20%, let's say rather than it being, I guess, 27, it would cut down, like, even though it's supposed to be 27, it will cut down to like 24, let's say, with that 20%, right? So in theory, it's supposed to be at, let's say, 27 because of the 12% from 30. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but hopefully you guys get it, right? It's supposed to be at 30, but with the negative 12%, it will go down to 27%. But with the 20%, instead of it starting at 27%, it's just starting. I don't know how to explain it really, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Berserker plus 40%, Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 2, increased chance to proc the ailments against speed attribute enemies, Sharpshooter, status ailment, spiritual pressure plus 80%, built-in full stamina 20%, Havoc and Sprinter plus 2. Like, what is this character? And he's a premium. This is a character you could pull off tickets. Easily best tech character in the game. So, like, we're going to go over his skills in a second here, but there's no question this is now the best tech unit in the game. Must have. He's the best tech character in the game. But if you have, I would say, either this guy or this guy, you don't need to chase this guy, right? Because these guys, even Retsu, if you have her like duped up, I would say at this point. With Ichigo being up here, I kind of want to take Roka down. with Ichigo being up there now. Right, I kind of want to take Roka down. Not because Roka isn't good, it's just like, I don't think Roka is a must-have. I wouldn't say she is at this point of time. I wouldn't say she's a must-have. But yeah, I would say if you have Toshiro Aizen and then even Retsulik with dupes, you don't really need this Ichigo. So keep that in mind. Let me try to speak up the pace here. So first strong attack is the same as Kaname. It's just going to be pushback. Pushback, yeah, shave. 1,200 width by thing. It's just like a pushback move, right? It's essentially just a pushback move. Or like, I don't want to say a beam, like a blast move, you could say. I'm trying to have it explained here. Second strong attack is a 3,000 length beam, and then third strong attack is a full screen. Very good kit here. Not that bad. A very great unit. Ishin, a PvP character. So he has 800 attack, last read on everything. Soul Reaper Killer, which is pretty good for PvP. Damage taken negative 16%. I apologize. Brave Battle only, prevents last ditch. Half stamina only, decreased damage taken negative 50%. He does have 10-second invincibility. Bruiser plus 50%. Damage to last rate enemies plus 60%. Flurry plus 2. Debilitator plus 2 seconds. Ignores Brave Battle invincibility. Prevents Brave Battle healing and poison. He is a very good Brave Battle character in my opinion. Guard Break, Long Reach, and Sprinter plus 1. So he is not character. We don't have to really go over his strong attacks. I mean, I guess to proc the debuffs, but again, he's a PvP character. Not really gonna. It's gonna matter obviously, but he is a must-have DPS, right? So let me try to like organize this properly here. I would probably put him here, maybe here. Yeah. Because, again, you can use him outside of PvP as well. He has Guard Break. I think I would put Ishin there. Probably put Sajin, like, here, maybe. I don't know, bro. But, yeah, I probably would take these two down. Like, could have PvP. Both Oko and things. So I know people told me to put Askin in must-have PvP, but you don't. There's only 3 people for PvP. There's 9 characters here. You have 3 out of these 9. You have a good PvP team. With Askin is just a letdown of what you could have with these characters here, right? So I don't want to put Askin in must-have PvP because already with these 9 characters, it could be either Sajin, Jugrum, and Chad. That's a pretty good PvP team already, especially with Ishin now. So I would say Ishin is a must-have PvP character. And then Tenza, 800 Okay, 848 SP, no ailments, Soul Reaper Killer, strong attack recharge time negative 12%, Berserker plus 60%, damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment plus 100%, devastation plus 60%, frenzy plus 1, havoc plus 20%, hit enemies plus pierce iron skin, melee damage plus 10%, 30% in co-op, which is the co-op unit because he has power droplet drop plus 30%, power link slot potions plus 5, and super power link slot potions plus 5. On top of that, he has fire duration, guard break, and sprinter plus 1. Easily the best blue speed support in the game. This is gonna be a very, 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 very hard one to top off. I don't think they're gonna top this guy off because essentially he's a fusion of this guy right here and a fusion of this guy right here, and these guys are literally top of the game as well. So he is very, very broken. I would say Tenza is a must-have character. Simply off the supports. I mean, we can go over his strong attacks. First strong attack is a 3000 length beam. Second strong attack is a AoE distance, 960 radius, melee collision. And then third strong attack is a full screen. A very good kit as well, right? 3000 length beams gives you some range there. And it's the fastest strong attack you're going to get because it's a first strong attack. But it does give you range there, so you're not really going to die. And then with Pierce Iron Skin and all these extra skills he has, he's just going to one-shot. So this is going to be the March 2023 must-have tier list. We did make some changes. We took Oko and Retsu down. We took Rilka down. And a lot of characters did get added into the must-have, especially every single character from this end of the month. But I think the only one from last mid-month, I should say, was going to be Yamamoto because he's a droplet character. So let me know if you guys agree with my placements here, and let me know why. Let me know who should go where. Also, Ichigo. Let me move Ichigo up to here because, again, I'm not basing this based on how much characters are already in a tier. Ichigo actually already does have what's it called? He's just like Hanataro, right? He's just like Hanataro. The only thing is about Hanataro is that his is a soul trait for the droplets. That's why I feel like Hanataro has more value than Ichigo. But he is a droplet and potion character. It gives him a lot of value in things like epic raids. Not to mention he has revive. Or protect and weaken defense built in. He's a very good character already. So I'm going to put him in must-have support, but the lowest tier, because again, I feel like Hanataro does a better job since he is a soul trait. He can be used way better than Ichigo, essentially. Hanataro can literally be put on Ichigo, and you can now have 60% droplets increase, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this is going to be my must-have supports tier list, must-have DPS tier list, must-have PvP tier list, my must-have tier list for March BBS. You guys let me know if you guys agree or not, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Subscribe. We're almost at 6K.